Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Outsider's Perspective on HLX Radio. I am the maestro, creator of all things HLX, and with me, as usual, the legendary Courier on the ones and twos. How are you feeling, sir?
I'm exhausted, but I'm all right.
Yeah, we had to change the schedule up a little bit, so we recording at a different time. Yeah. So niggas came straight in from work. Niggas was out here recording.
Yeah, I had a session.
Yeah, so new time. The show will now air on Fridays because we had to change things up because we are expanding. So we have more shows coming and more things that we have to record. So we had to, move things around, get people's schedules, accommodate everybody. So this is a good thing.
Exciting time.
Things are happening. Yes. Moves are being made. So how you been, sir? You all right?
I'm good. Yeah. Same old stuff. Working. Saving.
Working, saving, gigging. Yeah.
Gigging, yeah. Work. To me, gigging is working out.
For you, yes, that's
so
work.
That's officially a job for me now.
Big facts.
Yeah. How you, sir?
I'm all right. I'm working. That's it. Saving.
That's right. Look, this is what life is about right now. We are in our mid to late 20s.
Yes.
It's time to really start preparing for the future right now.
That's what we've been definitely focusing on lately.
Yes.
We're going to get more into that later on in the show. But yeah, niggas is starting to figure out, get some direction in life.
Yeah.
Life paths and figure out where we going, how we can get this money made for real.
We will not be poor.
No, we shall not.
We shall not.
Generational wealth.
Damn right.
But first, we're going to get into the song that you heard coming into the show today was Mulan by Michael Sneed. And this is, we actually need to do this more. But when we first said, let's find some more up and coming artists, local artists that's not, on the radio mainstream. Let's reach out there and find out what's there. This was literally the first thing we clicked on. Yeah. We just said, we went to, R&Bass.
R&Bass.
And it was like, let's just see, they post, new people. Let's see what they got. Literally the first thing we saw, Michael Sneed, Mulan. And I fucking love that song.
It's a good song.
I love it. I play that song regularly. I have it in my car. I listen to it at work. I love that song. Mulan, Michael Sneed. So, of course, I'm like, yo, this is the first thing we clicked on. And it's this. We hit the jackpot. Like, I thought, amazing. So, I listened to, he had another song out too around that time. And I like that song as well. So, I'm like, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
This guy. It might be on to something.
I don't know. I'm thinking this one.
I'm thinking Michael Sneed, right?
Yeah.
But then these songs were old, so we came upon these songs, but they had been out for like months. So it's not like these weren't new releases for him. They were new to us because we just heard them, but never heard anything else from him. But then he started, we followed him on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. He started, new album coming, new singles coming soon. So I'm like, oh, great, we about to get the freshness. He releases 2 songs. I can't remember what they're called now.
Does it matter?
And they were not good.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where I was like, is this the same person who made the song that I loved?
Something
because I still, even to this day, even with these other songs not being good, I love Mulan.
Yeah.
I still listen to it. I can't even equate Mulan to the other shit that you made. Like, I don't understand how did the same person come up with both of these songs?
It doesn't make sense.
It does not compute. Like, what was this? Were you in a different mood? Were you smoking a different kind of weed? I don't know what happened.
It makes me wonder how old this Mulan song actually was, because maybe he was just in a different place then than he is now. But
it wasn't like years. I mean, from what I saw anyway, it wasn't like years old. It had been out for a couple months, but it wasn't like this was 7 years old. It was like same year.
But the two that you played, one of them I didn't like at all. One of them was just really bad. Like he was singing, but it was weird. I don't know. I don't know really how to describe it. Maybe we can find it and play it or something. Yeah. And then the second one was just like a chance song. It was a chance to rap a song. One,
and once you said that, I could not unhear. It was like, this is a chance song. Like, I don't know how he got away with this, but he was even all the little random noises that Chance be making, like yeah. I was like, you're doing this shit. Like you can't just steal a nigga ad-libs. Like that's clearly Chance. Like.
Well, I'm shocked that you're even saying this right now. You must really feel the type of way because
I'm hurt.
You would have kept that to yourself. You sound like me right now. Like,
hey man, you gotta take shit to the next level. This is how we do it.
Well, yeah, we are not impressed.
We made the announcement last show.
Yeah.
That going forward, we are telling the truth, and you're gonna like what we like and
That's
hear what
true.
we hear.
We
so
did
at
say
this
that.
point,
That's
it is
true.
what it is. All shit is off the table.
Well, the gloves and
The
definitely came
gloves
off.
are fucking off.
Damn.
So there you go. So and then those were just the singles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, of course, the singles he was announcing at the time, an album is coming. So I think it was the 11th, the October 11th, the album came up, and I forgot what it's called now. Do you remember what it's called?
No.
The album came out, and first of all, the song that I love, that I was like, this at least that one will be on the album. He didn't even put that on there.
Mulan was not.
Mulan was not the one good song. Not even nowhere to be found on the album. So I'm like, this nigga must have a lot of faith in these other songs to not put the best one on there.
And the first song was the worst song. Like that was the song that I hated.
That we didn't like.
He opened the whole album with that.
It was like, this is what I'm leading out with. Like, nah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah. So I hadn't heard most of it. I think I heard, basically I went by what had the most plays. So, because I didn't remember what the songs, like what the sound, like what the title of the songs were.
Yeah.
So I listened to like the first two songs. So the first one I didn't recognize. I think it was like an intro-ish type of thing.
Yeah, that was something different.
The first official song, the second track was the track that I know I hated.
Yeah, that was I got it pulled up. That was Hopscotch, the second song.
That shit.
That was it.
Oh my God. As soon as I immediately recognized what it was. Like, oh, this is the shit. No. So then I went to the one that had like 18,000 plays on like Spotify or something. And it was the other one. It was the Chant song. So I was like, fuck.
It's a lot more. I went through got the album name now. The album was called Days We Lost was the name of the album. And I went through, I listened to the whole thing just once so I could say I did. And it was a lot of chants. Like, it was a lot of it. To the point, like, listening to Chance's last album, it was just like, I don't know what like what correlation. I still don't know where he's from.
Yeah, remember I asked, like, is he from Chicago?
Yeah, and I asked A and them, they had never heard of him, and I was like, and I think the only song they really knew is Mulan because that's what we added to HLX Radio. So I don't even think they heard the other stuff. So all they had to go off is that. They was like, yeah, I like that song, but I've never heard of this guy. I don't know, so I don't even know if that's where he's from. But there is an official review coming from A. Danae. She does all of those. So
she don't pull no punches.
I mean, she been being honest, so why not? Let's be honest.
That's true. It's very true.
She talked about niggas that we went to school with, and I was like, he definitely went to A&T with us, but hey, but that's why I don't write the reviews. But I was extremely disappointed. Michael Sneed, I'm not sure what's going on. You may never see this, but get it together. That's all I got.
I can't believe this. This nigga told you to get it together.
and that's what I have.
Keith tell you get it together. You need to get your shit together.
That's all I got. Michael Sneed, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
So I mean, Mulan will remain in rotation on HLX Radio. I don't know if you'll hear any of the rest of that album on there.
Sorry to this man.
I'm not adding those.
Wow.
Maybe next time.
Damn.
And that's what you have for us.
All right, well, what else can... In other news.
In other news, we don't have much today. This might be another short one. Let's see. Want to get the political shit out the way?
Sure, I don't even know what that's going to be about.
We watched the debates.
Yeah,
was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
No, it was Tuesday.
Tuesday,
okay. Yeah. So they had I don't even know how many, the fourth or fifth Democratic
I think
debate.
It's the fourth one.
And they did narrow it down because I think the last debate had 20 people. They narrowed it down to 12 this time. Okay. So they could all fit it on one day instead of splitting it up like they normally do. So of course all your main people were there. Our boy Andrew Yang made the cut, so he was in there. They asked a bunch of, typical questions. First thing, the impeachment in Ukraine and what should we do? I can't say out of this, Yang seemed like he got more questions directed at him. He's kind of more established himself as someone that you can't necessarily just laugh off no more because he's consistent as far as growth of people searching for him, especially as far as money raised. Like he beat some of the other more well-known people like Cory Booker and somebody else. He raised more money than them in the last quarter.
He
so
almost up there with like Buttigieg and
he's
Harris.
Extremely close.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't just kind of throw him off to the side no more. He is a threat, especially to those ones. If you're not like Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, you gotta look at Yang like that nigga kind of close. So he was there. He got a couple more questions, but it was kind of did this bring anything different for you? Did you learn anything new? Do you feel different about any of the candidates?
Well, back to Yang, I think it's very interesting that they're bringing up a lot of issues that he himself, like he solely brought up about the whole like automation issue. What else was he talking about? Basically, that was the loss of jobs. The loss of jobs. That became like something that even like Elizabeth Warren had to kind of address
directly. Like look at him and give an answer to.
Yeah. Was it? What's the Hispanic guy? Julian something.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
He brought up UBI. It was like possibly that could be a great idea. And mind you, Yang wasn't the first one to bring it up, but in this campaign, he was the only one pushing for it. And everybody else was just kind of laughing at it. But the fact that a lot of these issues, they actually started seriously addressing them and discussing them amongst themselves. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And it gives me hope that there are people who listen, who don't just look at, just I guess face recognition, basically. Like people were only backing Biden because they knew who he was. Yeah. They didn't know what his policies were. They didn't know what anything because he hadn't really said anything. But you had somebody like Yang and like Yang and Warren that got like 100 policies, like all laid out,
like plans. Like, this is what I'm going to do about XYZ,
step by step.
Go to my website and I can list everything I'm doing.
So the fact that Yang is growing how he does definitely gives me hope. Do I think he's gonna win? No, but he's gotten way farther than I thought he would. I myself am shocked, and that's my guy. Like I choose him over Bernie, and Bernie's my nigga. But it's like Yang just gets it, and the fact that he's not so partisan about stuff. He's just about the issues.
Whatever. He's the most logical. Like if it makes sense for the greater good, then let's just do that.
He's not even the type to really like. A lot of these debates are about bashing Trump. Like everything is always about Trump. And Yang just always kind of brings it back to what the issue is. It's like, look, I'm focusing on the issues that got Trump elected. Look, you can feel how you feel about Trump, but at the end of the day, these are the reasons why he is in office and people voted for him. So we need to address these issues instead of just attacking him. You know what I'm saying? So I just respect the nigga. I like Yang. I wish he could be president. At this point, he might be a little too ahead of his time right now, but he is the one sparking the next thing, kind of how like Bernie was
for now.
That's what Yang is going to be, and that's all I ask. Let's just continue to grow and learn and expand.
Let's think and use our minds.
But in terms of how I feel about the other candidates, you know what? I like Warren more than I once did. I pay more attention to her now, and it seems like so is everyone else. Because it seems like she has the most policies. She has the most
plans. She's known for the plans.
Yeah. And she does genuinely seem concerned about us, about people, about the middle class. You know what I'm saying? And just her whole mentality about taxing the rich and her plan to like do that and her healthcare plan and that kind of thing. I respect Warren. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but for the most part, I respect her as a person, and I do believe that she has actual like policy that is in line with what I feel is best for me and mine, and probably just the middle class just in general. She's one of the only ones that's actually trying to break up Facebook and Google and Apple and all these people, because it's like it's something very like monopolistic about Google and that kind of thing. So even though it's tech, so people don't really associate, they only associate that with like oil and shit like that. But it's still a company.
Big oil.
They still have a humongous market share to the point. It's just like there's no point of even trying to have a Bing or a Yahoo search because Google just has it all. Feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean to a certain extent, because like what Yank said, it was like the reason Google won is just because like it was better at it. So to a certain extent, it's just like just because I have a better, you can't kind of hold it against me that my product is better than yours. Like I had a better product, so people chose to use that instead of yours. So to a certain extent, I mean there's that too. But I mean, I get it. To now it's at the point where it's like, nigga, you are so far ahead.
Especially like Google and Amazon are the main two for me. Facebook is just immoral. You feel what I'm saying? And that's. Did you hear
about I told you about them trying to have their own cryptocurrency and like money, right?
Yeah, but they just recently somebody just shut that down.
I don't know if it was shut down, but like all of the financial backers that were involved, like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, a lot of like financial institutions were in the deal, so it was going to happen.
Which would be stupid.
But they were going to. And then apparently, because how it is, financial institutions and just like general businesses are regulated differently. Because after, like we had to bail out all the banks, it's like we had to be very strict about money. So what Facebook wanted is like they wanted to still be regulated like a regular company, even though they were trying to do money, and they wanted all the financial partners to bear the financial responsibility if some shit went wrong. So they were like, wait, you gonna blame me if you nah? So everybody basically was like, get the fuck out of here. I think PayPal left first, and once PayPal left, everybody dipped. So they trying to do some slick shit. Facebook can get the fuck out of here.
But I'm all for breaking up places like Amazon. Especially they don't pay taxes.
Especially Amazon. Amazon is
for a long
number
time,
one on my list.
Yeah, and for a long time they just been, I don't know, it's been eating other business, other things up, because it is just for a long time they weren't even focused on making money. They were just focused on.
They weren't negative for a long time.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, I don't know. This is something is not right. Something is definitely not right, especially the whole tax issue thing. That just isn't fair. But Warren, Bernie, Yang, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
Warren, Bernie, Yang. Bernie's been saying the same thing over and over and over again. So that's still my nigga, but it's just like I've been hearing this since 2016. He's not really saying anything that's new. So to me, it's
everybody else just saying what he been saying.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, do I have to change it up? They saying they repeating what I said.
Right. Biden needs to get the hell out of here. Biden isn't really contributing much to anything. I don't really see the point. I don't see the point of Biden being here. I don't think that he would. I was about to say I don't think he would be a strong leader. I think he would, because he's kind of a dick. Remember I was telling you about like
Yeah.
Bernie is. So yeah, he could be a strong leader, because it seems as if he don't give a damn about how you feel. He gonna make his decision and you just gonna have to deal with it. So
I mean,
cool, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. He just got too much in his past. He always putting his foot in his mouth. It's just I'm not big on Biden, and I never really was, because I didn't know what he wanted. But now I'm starting to hear a little shit.
Once he start talking, it's like
wait
a minute.
This is not our guy. This is not our guy. Buttigieg, I like him as a person, but what exactly do you want? Like,
was he the one who said like? Because most people are saying like free college for everybody.
Yeah.
But he's the one that was like, I don't want free college for everybody if you can afford it. So it would be free for middle class and low income people, but rich people will still have to pay for it. And I was like, well, even though that just seems, if that's not fair. Like, it's like, because you can afford it or because you rich, you got to pay, but everybody else can get in for free. That just seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Either it's free for everybody or it costs money. Like, you can't. You can't attack people for having money to that extent. I know you can say tax wealth and all that, but it's like, you rich, pay for school, but you good, you get the pass. And like, that just seems weird.
His whole thing about like health, his stance is healthcare for all who want it, and for people who already are in their healthcare plan, just stay there. But Bernie and Warren are just trying to get they're trying to completely remove private insurance.
Just
like
free healthcare.
Free healthcare for everybody. Everybody gets the same healthcare to get the same care, but he doesn't necessarily.
Well, that's how insurance works. Like, the more people you have under the same thing is how we can keep costs low and afford to cover everybody.
Right.
Because if everyone's under the same plan, basically all your young people are paying while they're young and they're not really getting sick, so they're not really using it, which is covering for all the old people who are using it. And it just, the cycle keeps going, so we can afford to maintain it. But if you take half the people off of it, that's how costs go all over the place.
Yeah, Buttigieg just isn't enough. He's kind of on the fence too much for a lot of things, and just kind of
you
wants
gotta
to
make
play
a
the
decision.
middle. Yeah. So I'm not big on him, and everybody else is just kind of invisible to me. Like Beto, it seems he just looks weak to me, and like how his overall campaign started off, he was lying about his donors and how much he actually made, and how he got the money that he got. Yeah, he's actually pretty. There's something wrong with that.
I missed that. Okay,
something is very, very off. So Beto, I just don't like him. Something real sleazy about him. I don't know. And then everybody else is just kind of invisible to me. Harris was looking good in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know why she just kind of died out.
She just kind of died out.
When she launched her joint, it was like, whew, she had the most money and the biggest event, and it's just like, I don't know, she just couldn't keep pace. Well, she grew. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. I know with her, she started attacking people too much. She always at somebody. She always got, like, remember she like said something to Warren about whether she would. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, what was she something like they should take Trump off Twitter or some weird shit? It's like, why are you fighting so hard about his
What does
Twitter
that have to do with
account?
even what we talking about?
Join me and say that Trump's like,
so
who gives a shit if he tweet? Like, let's talk about the issue. Like, that's stupid.
Because I think she's trying to do that because she sees that Warren is kind of like numbered. She's like right there.
Yeah, Warren got a couple of texts that was like, I need you to say this.
Yeah.
Because you won't, like, but that did get her though with the whole, like, are you going to raise taxes?
Oh yeah, Warren couldn't.
And she just didn't, like, she blatantly was like, well, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it went completely like, well, that doesn't answer the question. Are you going to raise taxes or not?
She kept saying costs. Like whenever they were asking about taxes, the
cost
will be lower for middle to low income.
But what does that mean?
We're talking about taxes. How much will my taxes go up? And she went.
And then they asked Bernie. Bernie was like, yes, you will pay more in taxes, but on the back, got you on the back end. Your copay is less, your fees is less. You're not paying.
And I'm pretty sure Warren knows that
she's gonna have to.
Saying your taxes will go up will immediately, like, that's all people care about. If you say my taxes going up, I'm not voting for you.
Well, Bernie said that.
Niggas not voting for Bernie. I mean, it's the truth.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? But niggas not gonna like that.
But I feel like he said it, but it wasn't like he said it and now he's dropped to the bottom of the race. That nigga still in the top.
I'm just saying it does not help you by saying that I will raise your taxes. That people don't like that.
People don't like. But when you see her dodging the question, does that make you feel better?
No, it's both bad. That's what I'm saying. Like I think that's why people like Buttigieg kind of play the fence. Like, well, you can keep what you have if it works for you, and then you have the option. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to please everybody. Yeah. Bernie has made a stance. Like this is what I want, and you will do it. It's like, so we'll take a break, but that's overall how I feel about all these candidates. It's Bernie, it's Warren, it's Yang.
Yang 2020. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, The Outsider's Perspective, and that was our very own Coriel with Like We Got. Yeah. All right, so what do we have next? Last time we mentioned about you not liking music and how you felt about the current state a little bit. But I think even before that, we mentioned how at one point, you was feeling down, didn't really know what was going on, but then you started to write again. And as you started to write songs, you felt better. So like just getting it out and expressing yourself with music made you just feel better overall. But then that at the same time, you didn't like music. It was too much. And the gigs and all that, it became, I guess, was it that it became a job or
it became a job?
Feeling. So I wanted to kind of delve more into that and the mindset about how because we talked about it a little bit after the show off air, but it was like the idea that doing music is something that you kind of just naturally want to do because it makes you feel better. But then when you're kind of either forced to do it or put into situations where like it's not as genuine, I'm not trying to think of the way to word it, that it kind of pulls you out of that. So then you don't like that end of it. So it's like, if I don't do music, I feel sad. But if I do music, it makes me feel better. But then I get pulled over here because people see me doing my music. So that's great. But come over here and do this instead. And now I'm pulled over here away from what I want to do. So I still don't feel great about it. And that kind of duality, a kind of battling both sides of wanting to do music because you're just naturally a musician, and then being pulled into a place that makes you not like what kind of helps keep you going. If I worded that well.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm still trying to navigate through what exactly this is. This is just what I'm feeling, but I don't know exactly why. But I did come to the conclusion that I'm the type of person, I want to live my life on my own terms. I want to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. I'm not. That's why I'm not really the type of person to try to tell somebody else how to do what they do, because I hate somebody trying to tell me what's right for me and all that kind of stuff. I feel like whatever's right for you is right for you, and for people who gravitate to what you do, that's just what it is. But I think the biggest frustration on both ends with making music, I love making music, but when it comes to it's what's after the music is done that gets on my nerves. It's how you release it. Like, at one point in my naive childhood, I thought being successful in music meant you made great music and people liked your music. So people would share it. Like, I heard this song, you play it for your friends, and then they play it for a friend, and it just kind of grows. I thought that's kind of how that went. But a lot of times, that's not really how that goes, especially not nowadays. It's not really about that. Like, people share things, but we mostly share things for different reasons. We're in this meme culture. Right. So if it's not attached to something, if it's not some type of dance or
that's how what's the Drake shit with Shiggy?
Oh yeah, the Nice for What?
Yeah, like that's how that song was not intended to be that great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not that big, but that dance and video, to just niggas shared it for that.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not, and also too, people have to be you have to constantly put yourself out. You have to constantly draw attention to yourself. That's the complete opposite of how I am as a person. It's just like, if I can shy away from attention, I will. So it's like, I make music solely just I say this a lot to myself, but it's like, I eat, sleep, shit, fuck, and make music. If I'm not doing any 5 of those, I'm not feeling good. Like, it's just a part of who I am. So it's just like, I have so many songs that I've written, that I've recorded, that I just listen to because I enjoy it. And like, I was listening to Anti on the way back a couple of days ago. I enjoy it, and it was interesting because it was like, this is where I was mentally at that time. I was like 19, 20. I was dealing with like a lot of like emotional things and trying to sift through what I was feeling. So the music was that for me. It was therapeutic. It was also like a time capsule I could come back to. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm gonna be making music to the day I die. And I might even, like, with like we got. Sometimes I just feel like putting it out because I feel like, well, I feel like people would enjoy this. I put it out, but it's like my expectations are completely different because it's like, it's like, what are the odds? Remember we had that conversation. It's like, really, what are the odds of this song just touching people so much that they go and they share it with the world and it becomes this #1 classic? It just doesn't happen like that, and it does, but just for different reasons. Like, it happened for Nas, for Lil Nas X.
I was to say Old Town Road was
so it happened for him, but it's like, it's just, we completely different types of people. And he pushed his a certain kind of way and made it like a meme and that kind of thing, and then the whole drama surrounded it. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. So we're in a different type of industry right now. So it's just like, I'm at a point where also I don't like working. Like, I don't like having a job. I don't like having a boss telling me what I need to do and that kind of thing. So music gives me that kind of freedom to just be like, well, these are the days that I'm available. So, and when I'm available, then I can come. So it's like no one's telling me what to do. Like, I feel like I could leave at any point and I would be just fine.
Right.
But the other end of it is that I'm singing songs that I don't like because music is in a certain spot right now.
Right.
I mean, just in general, like R&B, pop, hip hop, every genre has its thing. Like everything is so formulaic now. But it's like if you've heard one, you've pretty much heard it all. So if you like trap music, here's a million trap songs that sound the exact same way, got the same tempo, talking about the same things. If you like R&B music, here's your slow, mellow, go to sleep music.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, it's like it's like if you hear a genre, it's like you hearing the same song over and over and over again. And I hate that because like, I was listening to my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a couple of days ago, and I remember how everything about that album made me feel. Everything about it felt like an event. It felt like a moment.
It was a story.
It was a story. The music was there. It was grandiose, larger than life. Kanye was spitting.
Big,
everything was kind of in the things that he was saying and connecting it. Basically he rose from like the ashes where everybody hated him after, the VMAs and all the things that he dealt with after his, mom passed and all that kind of thing. And how, you grow up thinking that fame is this thing and it's just going to, solve all of your problems. And then you get there and it's like you have even more problems. So it's like it just everything about that album and even how he like rolled it out, the videos, the short film.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
All the good like Friday songs that were leading up. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was just there was a monumental moment. And it's not like I need this all the time, but it's like I know a monumental moment when I see it. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Billie Eilish girl, she's dope to me. Yeah, I think she makes great music. She writes with, her brother or whoever, else. They make great music. She got her own thing and she has a head on it on like I don't know, she's just so mature for her, age and the things that she talks about, the, production techniques, everything is there. So even though it's not necessarily for me, I can acknowledge that something is there. But Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was for me. Like that's my type of shit. Right. You know what I mean? And even though it was still technically like my formative years, like it came out in 2010. So I had to be 16, 17 years old when that album came out. So I was still kind of formulating my tastes and all that kind of stuff. But by that point, I pretty much knew what I liked. So in being that, it was like a combination of everything Kanye had ever done up until that point, times a million.
Right.
And I'm just using it as an example. Like I'm passionate about that because it did something for me. I had an album I played each and every day that moved me.
That lasted a while.
It lasted a long time. Anderson .Paak, which was like the last album that made me feel like that. The Malibu album.
That's the most recent one? I'm about to say, which one?
The Malibu album that came out in 2016. I fucking love that album.
That is a great album.
It's not even like it's a concept album. It's just the songs are so good.
Good music.
It's just great fucking music that you have to play all the way through. You can't just have.
Don't feel right starting from the middle.
Exactly.
You have to play it in
and
sequence.
Everybody says the same thing. For people who like that type of music, you have to play it from top to bottom because I'm about art. I'm about bodies of work. You feel what I'm saying? Artistry. I'm not about the money. I'm not about how many streams is this gonna get. That's not what any of this is about because nobody's ever gonna talk about that again. Like such and such and so and so was so amazing because they got 2 trillion streams. Who gives a fuck? Unless you were the first one to do it, it's like anybody gonna talk about it. So and mind you, they breaking these streaming records like every week,
every other day.
So it don't even mean that much anymore.
Just got one. What's her name? Summer Walker.
Yeah, she got the highest R&B
female artist of all time.
And where the fuck she even come from?
Wait a second, what?
You see what I'm saying? It's all hype. It's social media. It's all just like who's hot right now, and everybody just kind of gravitates to that one thing. It's like I don't like where we are culturally right now. And you know what else I thought about? Everything is so fucking LA. I'm so sick of LA in California.
It's Broad Street. Fuck out of here.
Yes, but it's like everything sounds like it. It's like that's what everybody is going
chasing for.
That LA sound. And it's getting on my nerves. It's like there's nothing else. And I know that there's so many other songs out there. It's not just mainstream because, but it's hard to sift through like millions of songs to find good music. It's really hard. So a lot of times we depend on these mainstream outlets and these bigger outlets so that we know what to listen for. But if they keep sending us the same shit over and over and over again, all because one sold a certain way, so we just gonna keep pushing
like
it.
This one too.
It's annoying. So I say all that to say I have to sing a lot of these songs every fucking week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm around people I don't really relate much to.
Who comes up with y'all like list? Like who was pulling y'all list together?
The leader. And they kind of just look up top 40, radio, like right, whatever's the top 40 hits at the time. And of course, we do Motown stuff, which I'm also sick of because we've been doing Motown for how long now? Remember, Motown 25 was like 35 years ago. Think about that. They looked back on Motown 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying?
That was the 25th. Like,
so it's like I just feel like we're just in a place right now where creativity is so hard to find. And the fact that and I feel like it's so hard to find because it's so hard to make because you have nothing to pull from. Like when I had, Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Malibu, they all coincided with with my projects. Like I never made a project unless I was listening to something. Like when I was listening to my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Hidden Ambition was out. When I was making Anti, there was these guys named Lion MV Triple I. Remember them?
Yeah.
I was listening to them every day. Lewis and Beeman. Them niggas was incredible to me. Because they was basically Kanye, but they had a whole nother twist to it. My whole Anti shit was based off of what I was listening to. Trial and Error, I was listening to Malibu constantly all the time. So it's like there was something, but now I don't have any, I don't feel I have that much to listen for. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like musically everybody's in this place where we stuck. And then like people like Anderson .Paak that made it to where they are because of albums like Malibu. He's trying to make it to that mainstream level. He's trying to get to that next thing. And you can tell by how the music sounds, how he formats his music, what he talks about now. So it's like I'm not against it, but it's like it don't make me feel the same way that it used to. So that's basically what it is. It's just like music to me sucks and it's uninspired. Everybody's just making music to make money and they're not about pushing things forward. You feel what I'm saying? So that's basically so that's why I say I hate music. And I don't know, I'm just like we were, touching on earlier, I'm focused on my future. I'm not trying to be poor. You feel what I'm saying? Right. I'm not out here trying to just, chase this dream and all that kind of stuff. Like when
45, still trying to figure
when I was writing all these songs, I was living with my mom. So it's like I was just thinking like I gotta get out my mama house. So the best way I knew how was to write these songs and put these songs out and push myself as much as I can to make it to a certain point where I can provide for myself so that I can leave. I made it to this point. Technically, this is where I am. It's not necessarily me I didn't become Michael Jackson like I thought, but I'm doing it. I'm providing for myself, doing what I love. And it's not perfect. It has its pros and cons with it and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm thinking more long term. I want to own things. I want to be I don't want to be paying rent and mortgage for the rest of my life. I know it's become such a cultural thing. We just used to it. We used to spending money on car payments and that type of shit. But you don't have to.
You do not.
You can pay for that car outright.
Yes,
and not have to work because
I went most of my life without a car note. I've only had a car note for 2 years of my life.
Because for these past couple of years, there have been periods where I have been unemployed, trying to figure out what my next thing is. Imagine if I didn't have a savings and all that type of thing to kind of fall back on, and I had all these bills to pay. But if I ain't got a whole bunch of bills to begin with, if I ain't working but my house paid for, if I ain't working but my car paid for, if I ain't working but all I need is to pay for like my taxes and insurance and all that kind of stuff, I can Uber that until I figure out what my next steps are. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm about security right now. So music at this point, it just doesn't seem realistic in the sense of me making mixtapes in my bedroom. I mean, there's a period you got to just look at reality.
You gotta stop.
Exactly. So it's like,
or at least like you said, manage your expectations. If you are making mixtapes in your room, it's because you just enjoy making music. It's not like, I gotta stand outside and push this at the gas station and sell it for $5.
It's not like my life depends on it no more.
That's not what you're doing. You're making it just because you want to make it.
Exactly. I feel like that's a beautiful place to be. Like, I make music because I want to, not because I feel like I have to, because it's my only option.
Right.
So that's basically
it's like a better place to be in, actually.
I think so too. Like I said, nothing's ever purpose. So there's always something that you'll complain about or that you wish was different. Yeah. But all in all, I'm in a good spot, and I'm trying to be in an even better spot. So I hope that kind of answers.
I think it was a good talk, sir. Good talk, definitely.
We'll be back.
We shall return. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The Outsider's Perspective on HLX Radio, and that was Long Distance from GM JR. Mm-hmm. I said GM JR.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I do want to touch on quick. I know you said you don't care, but this is I'm still giving him a chance.
Okay.
I still want to give him a try. Justin Timberlake. If you are someone who followed this show from the very beginning, for like, this was back when we did the old show on video. Like the first 6 episodes back to back featured Justin Timberlake when he was rolling out Man in the Woods. So this was from promotion to him showing little snippets and little hype videos with Pharrell and all that up to the release and afterwards. So we spent like a month and a half listening or preparing for that album and then finally getting it. And we were, needless to say, very disappointed.
I was hurt.
We were very devastated because 2020 experience was everything. Like the album was amazing. The show was amazing. It was life-changing for me.
Yes.
And then he came with something else and we were like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And then it was disappointing.
Yes.
And then we just didn't hear from him. He released it. We fucking hated it. Mm-hmm. He released some jeans and then disappeared.
Yeah.
He has returned. So he did an interview with Entertainment. It was Entertainment Tonight. And said he has new music coming. And some of the people that he has collaborated with on this upcoming project or whatever it may be is Lizzo.
Okay.
Meek Mill.
Okay.
And SZA.
All right.
Are the 3 that he gave us. So there's potentially more, but he said he has new music coming and some of his collaborations have been those 3. So with those 3 as features, this feels like he's now out of the woods. He has turned around and he realized that that was probably not the best place for him to be.
Back in the hood. Mm-hmm.
He is back with the black people, clearly. So does that, because you had just said, fuck it, you don't want to mention that nigga ever
I'm
again.
Done. Yeah.
Are you still done?
Yeah.
There's nothing, no way he can come back?
I don't like Meek Mill. I don't give a fuck about Lizzo. The fuck I'm gonna do with that? It's like, I don't care about that. Who was the other one?
SZA.
SZA's all right.
SZA, I feel like the SZA collab has the potential to be something.
SZA's all right.
Meek Mill, I feel like he might try to give us another suit and tie, but just have
we got that already.
But he might try to throw Meek Mill in and get us a similar vibe as suit and tie.
I hope not. But I don't care. Meek Mill ain't gonna do nothing for me. Meek Mill is not gonna do shit for me.
But that's only 3. Like he could put out way more songs.
Did he say Timberland?
Did he mention Timberland? Let me see.
If he ain't saying Timberland, I don't give a shit. I don't care. If he says Pharrell, I'm gonna find him. And I'm gonna fight him. Cause it's like Pharrell ruined him. Pharrell ruined him. If he ain't getting back with Tim, I don't care. Period.
Okay, I'm checking the description because I didn't watch the whole interview. I'm looking at an article on Wrap Up, but I don't see that they mentioned Timberland. He was just talking about the collabs, but there is an Instagram clip of him and Lizzo in the studio. I guess Timberland
there,
but I don't see Timberland.
Then nope.
So
nope. That's like Janet without Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Oh, and the picture.
I don't want it.
Picture of him and Meek Mill as well.
Nah.
With the caption is building.
I don't get. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited. No, fuck that. I don't. What is Meek Mill gonna do? If Timberlake is not involved, I'm not involved. Bottom line. Nah.
That was a snippet of him and Lizzo.
I don't need it.
So no chance that he's winning you back with this one. Nah. Will you listen to it?
I mean, I'll listen to it. You know, why not? But nah. He got three. He got three songs.
Tracks. 3 tracks in.
If he don't get me on the first 3, I'm done.
What if we get I mean, he just announced it, so we hadn't heard nothing from him, and we got this. What if he come like a few weeks later with like a picture of him and Timberland, like "We back" as the caption?
Then I will consider it.
Okay.
But that's it. I want to hear Pharrell. I want to hear Will I Am. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I want Timberland.
That don't sound good.
I want Timberland.
Well, that is there. So hopefully we just talked about music and something that could give us inspiration.
Yes.
If he can give me some 2020 feels again, that might do it.
I doubt it.
But
I highly doubt it.
We shall say fingers crossed.
Your fingers are crossed.
My fingers are crossed. I want Justin to return back to not come out. I want him to come out the woods and come back. But when we were kind of talking before we get on air, we were just kind of running through wrap up to see if anything of interest that we cared about happened. And I scrolled through and saw that I had completely forgot, but Lil Kim's album came out. Like the first album she put out in like 6 years.
No, her last album was in 2005.
Really? Didn't she put out like mixtapes and stuff after that though,
Those
right?
don't count.
Oh well, I think she even said that. But I guess the first official studio album in several years.
How long is that?
You said 2000
14 years.
Okay, so 14 years. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
So Lil'
her
Kim,
last album was "Put Your Lighters Up."
Really? Oh shit! That was right as she went into jail, wasn't it? Oh damn!
So she's
and
had
I remember
songs
that
and
album
stuff.
too. That was that hardcore too?
No, I can't remember.
What's the name of that? Well, anyway, I'm gonna look that up. But we just kind of scrolled past it and look. And you said you saw something that she sold.
I thought it was like. I thought it was people trying to be funny. They said that she sold 77 copies so far. I was like, nah,
77.
There's
I was
no
like,
way.
And I thought he meant like 77,000. I was like, that's might be but she's like 77.
7.
Period.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's
which I didn't believe. Like, there's
good.
no way. Not in this like streaming era. It's impossible. It's impossible.
But
what?
During the last break, I did a Google search to see, you know, they put the projections out to see what she's estimating to sell. And the list that I saw had her projected to sell less than 1,000 copies. This is including physical and streaming.
Oh, no.
So that 77 looked a little more realistic.
Ooh.
When you only hitting top with streaming, if you only hitting 1,000, 77 physical might be real.
Those Robin Thicke numbers, that's bad.
That's I cheated on my wife and I need to get her back numbers. That's
man.
And I was in shock, but that's what this.
What was the single from this album? Uh-oh.
Let's see. That's a good question.
Because the album's called 9, so
it's 9, yeah.
And there's only 9 tracks on it. That I do know that. That didn't help her. You know, Chris Brown got 150, but she got 9. So there's no way that streaming helped her.
Wait, no, it says it has more than 9.
How many tracks is it?
20.
20?
Oh no, wait. It is only 9. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
That's why I don't remember what the single was, though. I don't even see a.
Was there a single?
I don't think so. Hold on.
Really? So she just dropped the album with no
I know
singles?
she announced that the album was coming, but I don't see.
When did she announce it? Because I had just found out about it last week.
Oh, she had Go Off. There was a song called Go Off that was she did a video for it.
I don't recall.
So there was, I mean, that's a single to me. You do a music video, that's a single.
Well, yeah, there was some sort of budget in marketing and promotion. I guess it wasn't enough. Damn.
Because that's who else came out too. Wale came out too. Yeah, nah. Go Off. Yeah, track 4. That was her single. Go Off. Track 4. But
under 1,000 copies.
Under 1,000 copies.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't want to shit on her.
But that don't even, that's for like Lil Kim. Like, she just got like an Icon Award. Then she just like whatever at the BET thing. She's got like a BET just gave her like an Icon Award.
They probably get it to her because she had an album coming out. That's what that sounds like. That's usually when they do it. They give you like lifetime achievement awards, shit like that. When either you're about to die or you got an album coming out.
That's wild.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Because I mean, I wonder what that means for her now. Like,
I don't know.
Is her label gonna drop her? Like, what they gonna do?
I have no idea. I don't even know who she signed to. Let me see.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Oh, it looks like she did it herself. It says Queen Bee Entertainment.
So she on her own shit.
Yeah.
She on her own imprint.
Which is probably why it wasn't much of a budget for videos and singles and pushing this shit. But
this ain't you can't do. I know that everybody feels like you can just go independent and that kind of thing. But even the independents are under umbrellas.
Something.
Like,
they got some type of distribution or something.
Yeah, you can't just be buyers. So you can't just rent an office downtown. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same thing. It's just it won't. You
got to be big enough. Like, that's only a few people I think could pull that off. Like, if Drake was like, I'm just dropping something, he could probably do decent numbers. Or like Beyonce.
But Drake would never do that.
He wouldn't. But I mean, your name would have to be like up there for you to just be able to like put something out.
But those people would never do that. Drake is too powerful. He like. Basically, the labels do whatever Drake want them to do by the
at this point, he just asks for what he wants, and they be like, "Yeah, cool." Yeah. Like, it's not much of a negotiation.
Lil Kim's not that. So, like, Lil Kim, I guess she has to do her own thing. But this is just not. I mean, you can if you want to, but
you got to be prepared to get these kind of results.
And people see it. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, she sold more than me, so I can't say too much.
That's fair. That's fair. I give her that.
Damn.
So that was that the last thing we had?
We want to talk about the venture.
Yes. So not even we can't talk about the venture, but my thing wasn't even necessarily the venture itself. Mm-hmm. It was like the mindset or like the scaredness to even try it. Mm-hmm. That like I think a lot of people deal with, and that holds them back from doing stuff. Because even stuff like with my mom, I'm trying to get her to like do a restaurant or sell plates or some type of food related thing because she can cook, and everyone tells her like, yo, you should do this, blah blah blah. She's done it once before, because just for like fundraising. I think back when my younger brother was in high school, he had like a basketball tournament and they were trying to go to nationals or something like that. Mm-hmm. So she sell dinners to raise money for that, and everybody was like, yo, when you gonna do it again? When you gonna do it again? So I'm like, this is a business. Mm-hmm. Why don't you make this money? But I think it's just you work a job for so long, you get so comfortable, and just like, do I do something besides this steady, comfortable thing that I'm used to and I know it's gonna be there, or do I take a leap and try something else? Or even if it's not like I'm gonna quit my job today and just jump out and start a restaurant, but it's just like, now I gotta put in the extra time. Like, I gotta go to work and I gotta prepare, plan, and do this with the hopes that it potentially one day will give me the chance to leave the steady job over here. Mm-hmm. So it's like that mental barrier, I think, stops a whole lot of people to the point where you gotta get to a point where you just gotta jump. Because even when we were talking about our venture and we kind of wrapped, it was like, okay, break, we'll come back, but we got a plan. And I was like, yeah, we gonna make some money. And you was like, yeah, we gonna make. I was like, that's not confident, nigga. We gonna make some money. And he was like, no, you right. Mm-hmm. But I mean, even me, like, I'm excited about it. I want to do it. I'm heavily researched. I'm still nervous about it. Like, I know what we have to do, but doing it, like, some of these phone call conversations or meeting people is gonna be like, but it has to be done. So it's just like that mental hurdle that people got to get over. I just want to get into that. Like where are you at now? Do you feel any better about it, or are you still like, where are you?
I'm at the point I was like, fuck it, just do it. And I remember I've done that a couple times in my life, but I know the one thing I did that with was the last showcase, where it's like I didn't know who was gonna show up. I didn't know if I was gonna make any money. I didn't know none of that. I was like, fuck it, just do it. I'm not gonna die if no one shows up. It's like, let's just see what do I have to lose, and it turned out better than I thought. I learned a lot. Everything wasn't perfect, but it was just like, it was an experience. So
nice
now,
turnout
for the next thing,
good.
I know a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
It's
and it
process.
opened so many doors. Like, I can only imagine where I would be if I hadn't done that showcase.
You got
like,
other shows that actually made you money. You didn't make money on that show, but you got a show that pays you make more.
I'm able to live my life. I'm able to make a living doing what I love because of that showcase. You know what I'm saying? I got the job. I mean, the agency thing, but I got the job based off of that. It was like, people were there. It was like, yo, that shit was incredible. There's this guy over here that so like, that's just kind of how it was. So like, you got to make that jump, and if you fall, guess what? You're not gonna die. It's like everything's fine.
Happens, man.
And for me, I always got a safety net. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, if I fail at this, I'm still doing this. You feel like that? That's kind of how I go about it. I don't just do stuff and I had no plan B. Safety net. So I've done it before, but it's just in terms of this new thing, I've never done anything like this in my life. I've never. I don't know anyone who's done it. No one in my family has ever done anything like this before. This is a brand new thing for me. And it's just like, I'm afraid. I'm scared. Because it's like, I don't know what to expect. I know that I'm not going to die if it fails. It's just a thing of, imagine, it's a whole nother aspect now. Like, me, I want to be as far away from people as I can possibly be. Like, if I'm on stage, that's different. That's a performance. Yeah. Once I get off a stage, I can be away from everyone, collect my check and go home. This is not a thing that we can just be away from people on.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
This is something you have to build up to the point where you could start to hire people to fill in some of those gaps of places where you want to be.
But we gotta network. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta build up lists and, all sorts of lists. Not just like, can I say property lists?
Yeah.
Not just like property lists, but just like people lists. You know what I'm saying? We gotta
people who know what to do in certain situations.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily a, I guess, customer or buyer or whatever, you still have to just know certain people for certain situations. Yeah. And then it's just like attorneys are involved and we got contracts being signed on.
We dealing with people who do this all the time.
Yeah. So
they gonna know that this is like, they gonna know that this is your first time in there. There's gonna be certain things they're gonna ask us. We gonna be like, I'll get back to you on that.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. And everything to me is always worst case scenario. So it's just like, I look at everything that could possibly go wrong first. Not to scare myself, but just to know what.
Just running through your head.
Right. It's like, this could potentially happen.
Hope for the best, plan for the worst.
And I hadn't done that yet. I haven't had time to really think about what could go wrong. I'm just now starting to get there. And it's scary, but it's like, it's necessary. But at least I'm warming myself up to the fact that I could potentially fail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just because I failed don't mean, like I said, I'm going to die. And because I failed the first, don't mean I can't try again.
That's what I'm saying. Just because if we don't get out there and like make $100,000 in a week, it's like, oh, we failed. Like, no, you have to give stuff time to develop and learn and grow. I've been kind of playing it through my mind too, and how some of these scenarios will play. And kind of the most comparable thing I could put into in my head is when I first started taking phone calls at work. Because I'm not on the phones now, but I started on chat because I'm the same way. I don't really want to talk to people or deal with people if I don't have to. But if I can just type to you and say, no, I'm not giving you your feedback, and that's fine. You can't yell at me.
Fuck out of here.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Disconnect. Like, I don't have to, like, there's no I mean, it's back and forth, but who you're typing. I don't care.
Are you? Yeah.
But then they shut down chat and was like, Monday y'all start phone training. And I was like, wait, huh? You might have to actually physically talk to people.
Yeah.
And they put you in training and you do side by sides where like the person who's been doing it is next to you. But when you put that headset on and you waiting for that first beep, that is I was terrified. Like my heart's like, thank you for calling. It's like you panic. Like what is this? What's the address?
Yeah.
So I mean, I was literally like, my heart was beating then because it's a little bit of wait time. So you go in the system and you kind of just waiting for someone to call, and it goes beep. It's like unmute. Wait. Hello.
Yeah.
And you kind of like panicking, and then it'd be something simple like, hey, can I make a payment? Like, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. And then it was over. It was my first call was literally like, make a payment. They didn't ask no questions. They knew what their balance was. They made the payment, and they were gone in 30 seconds. And it was like, well, I mean, all right, okay. What was the next one? So I mean, and I went through a couple before I even had a customer that was doing a bunch of extra stuff. But like the basic calls, this is not as hectic as I thought it was. But you got to get in there, and even with the situations that were kind of crazy and people going back and forth and cussing you out. The first one is wild, but I had been there. I did that for like a year and a half on the phones. By the time I left, I was like, ma'am, is there anything else? Like, you just, now it started not to even faze me. Like, if you don't get the fuck off my phone, man, I'm not giving you a fee. Right. You've been late for the past 12 months. I'm not waiving nothing. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, bye. Like, I'm not saying it like that, but I mean, in my head, I'm like, I'm not scared. My heart not beating. I'm just like, get this lady off my phone so I can take the next call. Like, your mindset as you get in and start get your feet wet, which the guy we've been kind of watching was saying, once your mindset change, you're not even thinking about the same stuff you was worried about when you first went in. So the same thing, you just got to kind of just keep doing it. Just dive in and see what happens.
And it seems like anything worth having, you got to be a little scared.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't just make money just cause. Like, you got to... Plus, you gotta spend money to make money. You gotta and if you're not spending money, you gotta do some work and put in the sweat equity to put in some work to get some return back. So
it makes it easy because I'm not doing it all by myself. I still got you.
It's always good to have a partner to go in.
So it's just I'm scared. That's why I reacted how I did. But that don't mean I'm not gonna do it.
I didn't say it like that.
It's just I'm afraid.
I just thought it was interesting because so am I. Yeah. But it was like. I was
just being honest about it. This nigga trying to act like, I got this shit. Like, okay.
I wasn't acting like that, but I'm kind of, I don't know, I guess trying to hype myself up. Yeah. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to make money. This is going to be successful. I'm not necessarily not being honest with myself because, again, I'm running these scenarios through my head, running how some of these conversations I'm going to go, trying to talk to, like, say, who could I maybe talk to kind of help us do this? Just running through my head, but I'm also at the same time like, yo, this is it. This is your chance. To all the stuff that we talked about. You said it yesterday. Like, this is what we talked about as kids. Yeah. Like, jokingly driving through Richmond. Like, yo, we going to own all this shit. Yeah. We going to fix it. And it's just like, now we're literally potentially sitting on the cusp of something that could make all of that true. Yeah. So it's like.
Exciting. Scary.
Yes.
But exciting.
And potentially well worth it.
Yes, indeed. We would like to thank y'all for tuning in. This was a great one.
We dropped some fucking jewels.
This was a good one. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And I was exhausted, but I'm re-energized. I'm gonna listen to this over again after this is done. So thank you all for listening.
Don't you
be well.
Till next time.
Don't you agree? Thank you all for coming to attend. Stacey P on the beat, now let the story begin. I used to dream of the day that a stranger would say, man, I remember Jay from way back in the day when we was in school. They called you Dancing James, and now you're doing your thing. There's nothing more I can say, and yeah, I'm getting it, yup. I'm doing it, yup. Every thought I had, now I'm living it, yup. The dreams I'm pursuing and the money is the hobby, but the bonus is the fans chilling in the hotel lobby. True.
www.hlxmagazine.com